So we're fresh off of AllStar Weekend, and it was a dud yet again. Normally, I'm not someone who is hypercritical of AllStar Weekend, mainly because when I grew up, I really wasn't attached to it. I think a lot of people tend to forget some of those dead years throughout the 2000s that many people like to just overlook and act like did not happen. I've definitely vividly remember some All-Star appearances and All-Star Weekends that I was just not feeling. So normally, I'm not as vocally critical on the All-Star Weekend, but this year, it was such a miss on so many different levels. There was only one event throughout the entire weekend that I was actually ecstatic about, and it lived up to the expectation. And even that event, it was torn down due to some dumb, idiotic commentary by some of the people on the sideline. But before I get into that, just walk with me for a second about what was going on throughout the weekend. First, we had a celebrity game, small stuff, but shout out to my brother Kai. He was out there doing his thing. But for whatever reason, the celebrities decided not to give him the ball. Trust me when I say to all those other celebrities, congratulations, I'm happy you out there. But nobody was out here trying to watch you, dog. Nobody didn't care about you. It's the reason why all over social media, they were promoting Kai left and right. Bro, give him the ball. Even if he doesn't make the shot, it's just there for entertainment. Give him the ball. My man Kai shouldn't be jumping up in the middle of the lane begging for the ball. Give it to him. But again, small stuff. And after the celebrity games, we had a Rising Star Challenge, and for whatever reason, they decided to mix it up. I don't know why. They gave us like 4 different separate teams, one of which was a G League Ignite team, and the team that actually had Wemby on it got knocked out in the first round, largely because that team just didn't care at all. Little to no effort. How is it that you're possibly going to have the next superstar, the guy that you're trying to promote, get knocked out in the first round of this new type of formatting that you're doing, so you don't even get to promote Wemby the way that you normally would be able to? So that was also a major L. I didn't really enjoy watching it whatsoever. Shout out to the G League Ignite team, though. They were doing their thing, but I didn't really care. Then we move on to Saturday's events. First, on the skills competition. Personally, I've never been a fan of it whatsoever. It became a bit more interesting when they threw in big men in there because it really started to show how talented players who are like 6'10", 6'11" are and can be. So I did enjoy that. That was actually cool. And also, Scotty Barnes is just funny to watch all the time. Then we move on to the three-point competition. Shout out to Dame. He won back-to-back years. He did his thing. And quite frankly, I don't really have too many gripes and complaints about this whatsoever. I do love for the fact that Tyrese Halliburton was out there showing out. Trae Young also showed out. Towns showed out again. But Towns, he lives for those moments. But again, Damian Lillard, he did his thing. He stepped up to the moment. He won. But as we all know, the event that everybody wanted to see was against Sabrina and Curry. That was the event that I was looking forward to the most. I enjoyed it the most throughout the entire weekend. It was great. Like, it was a lot of fun. I thoroughly enjoyed watching these two shoot the lights out of the ball. And also, shout out to Sabrina. She accepted the challenge of shooting from the NBA three-point line. Of course, a lot of the naysayers want to sit here and say, oh, it's a WNBA line, so it doesn't really count. So she actually took the challenge, took it to the three-point line, and guess what? She actually performed really, really well. She scored just as many points as a lot of other contestants in the regular three-point contest, finished with 26. Curry scored 29, and it was actually a really, really good event. It was great fun, great fun. And then Kenny Smith decided to ruin it for everyone because right after Steph won, and he literally took him to the last rack to beat Sabrina, Kenny decided to say this.
I think she should have shot from the women's line. She should have shot from the women's line. That would have been a fair contest. I still root for Sabrina. I still root for Sabrina.
We all are rooting for Sabrina.
No.
This is not what
She should have shot from the three-point line that the women shoot from.
Which, to some capacity, I understand where he's coming from because he was rooting for Sabrina. But, dog, why take everybody out that moment? That was a great moment in NBA and WNBA history where you had a woman compete with a man, and it was actually competitive. It was actually really, really good. Everybody enjoyed it. Everybody loves to watch Steph shoot the ball. Now you invited Sabrina in the conversation, brought more attention to the WNBA. Why even try to bring that moment down by highlighting how she just should have shot from the WNBA line? Be very mindful that, again, she scored 26 points. That's the same amount of points that it took to win or advance to the last round of the normal three-point contest. So it's not like she was so far removed from competing with Steph. And mind you, also, she lost to Steph. That's what she lost to. She didn't lose to anybody else. She lost to a player that many people believe, including myself, is the greatest three-point shooter the league has ever seen, and she's only lost to him by 3 points. 3. So to sit here and to say that, oh, man, she should have just shot from the WNBA line, bro, are you serious? I get it, you wanted her to win, but like, this is much bigger than you. It's much bigger than that. Then we go into the slam dunk contest, and honestly, bro, I'm torn. I just don't know what to do whatsoever. Shout out to the brother Mac McClung. He actually did his thing once more, won the dunk contest one more time, but it does bring us into a very interesting question of how is it possible that a player who's not even in the NBA continues to win the NBA slam dunk contest? That doesn't make any sense whatsoever. For those who do not know, McClung plays in a G League, gets a contract with an NBA team, and then he's now officially in the league so he can compete in this competition to make it at least interesting. And then when you look at everybody else who's going against him in the competition, it's not really a competition because everybody knew before the game even started that he was going to win. He's by far the best dunker. And then you start to look at some of the dunks that they provided for us this season. Again, it was just a snooze fest, especially Jaylen Brown. I mean, Jaylen Brown did some of the most cringe-worthy dunks I've ever seen in my life. First of all, he did a dunk, and the camera crew didn't even capture it.
Oh, a lot of power behind that. You know what?
Somehow a dunk that we didn't even see, that also everyone knew that he was referencing it from a Dominique Wilkins dunks that we've seen several years ago, several times throughout the years, and did it even better than Jaylen Brown. Got a near 48. It just doesn't, like, how is that even possible? But then also Jaylen Brown decided to jump over Kai while he was sitting down. And then at the end of the dunk, he finally decided to cover his eyes as if like he was doing it during the dunk.
I would say they have, let me see if he actually closed his eyes. No, he did not. He did not.
And then this late, too.
No. It looks like he's sneezing right now.
So I'm not really a huge believer that you have to be a star to make the dunk contest a bit more interesting. But I do also understand like having some type of attention that's being drawn to the game. But even with that being said, the league is so much more like skill oriented and not necessarily athleticism that a lot of those players who might have been in the league just off of sheer athleticism may not exist as much as they used to. And more importantly, those other players who are really good leapers and are stars, such as Ja Morant and Zion Williamson, even Anthony Edwards to an extent, they don't want to do it. So a part of me is like, I want to see the dunk contest do better, and I think it can do better. But also, I don't think the answers are as simple as put a bunch of stars in there, we're going to get a better result, because I don't even think a lot of the stars can do the things that may need to be done to make it much more interesting. They're cool, it's fine, you know, it is what it is. But that right there, Saturday was a bit up and down. The highest point was Sabrina and Curry, shout out those two. The lowest point was Kenny Smith on the mic because, boy, it was very, very bad. And also the fact that a lot of these competitions, I don't really know how you actually make it better because I don't really think the solutions are that easy. But there's one solution that I do know for a fact is very, very easy, is the AllStar Game. When I sit here and I watch the AllStar Game over and over and over again, bro, it gets pretty concerning the lack of effort there is. It's very concerning. And what's crazy is I've already seen the numbers, but even when I was streaming, shout out to playback.tv/Lowe's Room if you want to watch me, bro, I was getting more viewership for the Sabrina and Curry matchup than the actual All-Star Game itself. And the All-Star Game should be a compilation of the best talent in the NBA going back and forth with one another. A middle of the season pickup game of some of the best performers in the league, and we don't get that at all. I think Jokic and Luka and some of the other players, they just genuinely do not care. Some of the older players such as Curry, KD, and LeBron are still trying to carry it as much as they possibly can. And then you're kind of in the middle with a lot of other stars that really don't make it that much interesting whatsoever, in large part because it's almost like that's the nature of the game. Y'all are about to go out and get like 3 or 4 days of rest. Y'all are about to go basically a whole week without playing basketball. Y'all can't give us a quality effort for like the 20 minutes that you're on the floor. Like, as a fan, bro, that stuff sucks, bro. And I was watching, again, on stream in the middle of the game, and it's not just us fans, it's also ex-NBA players. Larry Bird talked about this before the game even started.
The one thing I would really like to see is they play hard tonight in this All-Star Game. I think it's very important when you have the best players in the world together. You got to compete, and you got to play hard, and you got to show the fans how good they really are. So I hope you enjoy your weekend. I'm enjoying mine. Have a good All-Star game.
Kobe Bryant, RIP, talked about this before he passed away as well.
I think the All-Star game in general needs a little revamping because it used to be competitive.
Yeah.
It used to be competitive, and fans want to see the best pickup game in the world. That's what this is. They don't want to see you running up and down and dunking and doing all this crazy. They want to see what happens when you get this collection of best basketball players on the planet, and they play and they go head up against each other.
Man.
I mean, you guys play harder at a pickup game in UCLA.
For real.
And ain't billions of people watching.
For real.
Definitely do.
You know what I'm saying?
And this has been an ongoing situation throughout the past couple of years, so much so that even Adam Silver, when he was handing out the trophy, it seemed like he was over it also.
And to the Eastern Conference All-Stars, you scored the most points. Well, congratulations.
So yes, it's cool. Shout out to Towns. I think he almost scored like 50 points. Shout out to Dame. He scored like 38 or whatever. Half-court shots. Logo Lillard, he was great. Tyrese Halliburton, he also was great. Started the game. I enjoyed a lot of it. Luka was funny when he got blocked by the rim. Trae Young nutmegging KD, and it's crazy that for whatever reason, not the fans, because the fans don't really care one another, but the media members and players don't even want to put Trae Young in the All-Star game, and he's one of the most interesting players to watch. Like, he gives a damn, and they don't even want to give him the spot. So as a fan, it's almost like, bro, like, in all seriousness, I'd much rather fans make the determining factor of who's going to make the All-Star game, and I'd much rather just vote on the players that I know who are going to give a damn. If you're not going to be playing that many minutes, bro, let somebody young out there and have fun. Yo, Cat got into the game. I think he realized, like, not only was he hot, but he don't know how often he's going to be getting this type of opportunity, so he went after it. I'd much rather see that. Because if you're not going to play defense, at least give a damn when you're going up and down the floor. But, like, the non-defense, the lack of effort, and not even playing at a certain speed that makes it look like it's fun and enjoyable, bro, that shit is whack, bro. That shit is dead ass. Like, that shit is whack. That shit is lame as hell. So, yeah, like, I don't know. I wasn't really a big fan of All-Star Weekend this year. I'm not a huge complainer, but this year was really, really bad. Yo, let me know y'all thoughts in the comment section below. What are some fixes for the All-Star Weekend? I just feel like a lot of it just has to come down to effort and pride and actually giving a damn. But let me know your thoughts down below. Hit the subscribe button, notification bell, and until next time, I'll see you all later. Peace.